I wanted to mention actually the dog one.
Yeah,
because that's an example of, okay, that lady was clearly nuts. Did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw the whole video.
Yeah, that lady was clearly nuts. She was clearly way overreacting. She was in the wrong. He said, put your dog on a leash. She didn't want to do it. And then she starts screaming on the phone to the police that she's getting attacked by a black man.
Right.
She's obviously in the wrong. But...
And she admitted that later on. I mean, the whole thing, she's walking her dog and she doesn't have it on leash, and then this in a park. There's a section that is for dogs to go freely.
Right.
And she wasn't in that section of the park. And this guy that is walking by says, please put your dog on a leash. And then she doesn't. And then it starts getting confrontational. The guy starts filming her on a phone.
Right.
And then because she starts saying like, okay, I'm going to, and then she starts getting more upset and calls the police and all that. Yeah.
The part, she was clearly unhinged in that video, to say it lightly, like totally acting like he was attacking her when he's like 15 feet away.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I'm not, again, she was totally in the wrong, but this lady, what people started doing, the internet mob, they found out who she was. They found her LinkedIn. They found out she was some vice president at Franklin Templeton.
Yeah, investment agency. Yeah.
Everybody started emailing Franklin Templeton. The next day, Franklin Templeton fires her.
Fire her. Yeah.
And now that lady has her name plastered on the internet.
Right.
She got fired from her job. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It's going to be pretty damn hard for her to find another job. Who the fuck wants to hire that lady? There's nobody, because if she works in finance, Franklin Templeton, and she was some VP, she's not just going to find another VP job somewhere else. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Who wants to hire her and take that risk? They're going to, the second, every company when they hire people these days looks you up. And the second they look up her name, no thank you.
Right.
So and her life is basically ruined right now because of that.
All because she had a bad time, a bad moment.
All because of a 1-minute video clip where she was clearly in the wrong. I'm not saying she wasn't in the wrong. But does that mean that her whole life
she admitted,
be...
she said, yeah, I overreacted. Okay, a lot of people overreacted these days because we're in a freaking stressful situation. And this lady is walking her dog in the park. She's this guy, says put on a leash. I don't know. I mean, definitely she was wrong. And she said it. She said, I apologize. I overreacted.
I know. But even if, besides, everybody's going to apologize when 1 million people are attacking you.
Right.
But I'm saying, does a 1-minute video clip like that warrant just ruining someone's whole life? And that's kind of I'm very pro internet and pro, I think all these people who say that Twitter is bad and Facebook is bad, I think they all are very closed-minded and don't see all the good that these platforms do.
But it's hard to tell.
This is when,
but
these are the cases where it is bad. And it's like...
But exactly, because the other case yesterday for the group of kids or people that were working out in this gym, the first time I saw it from one of the people that I follow on Twitter is like, oh no, what the guys are you thinking or whatever? No, or what's this guy thinking or whatever, something like that. Like basically meaning that the guy that was at the gym was doing the same thing to a group of black kids that were working out. And then I spend more time scrolling and this, and then I see more facts and people say, no, these guys actually were in a gym that is a private property for just the tenants, and these guys that do not belong in the building. So they went there. The guy was asking them.
I believe they were tenants, though.
No, they were not. They had a store that is down the street, and they are nearby, and they're known and all that stuff, but they were not tenants in the building or something. And then, so the guy basically said, I'm going to call security because you guys don't belong here.
He called the police.
Well, yeah, before it was security and then the police or whatever. But basically, it's like we try to... And the question is, if the guys were white, would it be the same reaction?
The difference is, if the guys were white, though, the guy doesn't call the police, probably.
Right. Okay, well, that's the thing that is wrong.
The other thing that...
The guy actually came back saying, listen, the facts are, I questioned them, I said, you guys belong here, whatever, and then...
The thing is that my question is, okay, like the dog park lady. That happens all the time. People get in arguments in public all the time. But now because everybody's recording it and can post it online, instead of it being a dispute between a couple people and then it probably gets resolved and nothing happens and they move on with their lives, now it's millions of people have seen it. The internet mob goes after someone, ruins her life for a mistake she made. And what's the proper justice for that?
Well, the thing is that this...
There's that's no a good trial.
Point. That's a good point because... All these things, if that exact situation happens 20 years ago, nobody fucking knows.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. The police probably show up. What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, I told her to put her leash on. Oh, blah 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 blah. Okay, ma'am.
And
you know,
I
walk
relate
away.
to that all the time.
That shit happens all the time.
Listen, I go running every
No,
weekend.
I want to be clear. I understand totally that. Yeah, she
had a bad
she
day.
played the race angle, which is like, what the fuck? You
Yeah,
know, she
okay.
played the race angle
I
on
know
the phone with the
stereotyping.
cops.
Yeah, she did.
She went on
and
the phone
not,
with the
not to
cops and
mention,
said
she
there's
was
a black man attacking
she was
her or
actually
whatever.
so stressed out that even her dog, she was
Oh my God,
choking
she was,
her
like,
dog
choking her dog.
because the dog was not on leash. So she's grabbing the little poodle from the collar, and at some point the poodle was like choking because she's like upset, talking on the phone, grabbing the dog by the collar, and it was upside down, and it's like. It's like I was actually fearing more for the dog. I'm surprised PETA or somebody didn't complain about the
Oh,
stuff.
and by the way, I fucking hate when people don't have their dogs on a leash.
I know that's what I was gonna say.
I'm so on that guy's side.
I go running. I go
Yeah.
running every
Oh
weekend.
my God.
Okay, I go running every weekend and I go through the park that is nearby, and I'm okay with dogs and all that stuff. But it's like, okay, it's very clear that it says dogs must be on a leash, and it's fine. Some dogs are very well behaved. Some others are just basically barking because they feel threatened. I understand that dogs are dogs, okay. But I'm running at my own pace or whatever, and then you see this dog that is loose and comes barking at you, and you're like, okay, and he's like, he comes, and then the owner is like, hey, screaming, come here. The dog doesn't even listen, just comes to me, and then it starts sniffing, whatever, following me, running, and then finally, oh, I'm so sorry, laughing like it's a fun thing. It's like, dude, it's not a fun thing, okay? First of all,
I know. One time, I was riding a bike, and I mean, literally, this dog was like, I mean, showing its teeth.
Yeah.
And like sprinting at me, like, and it was like trying to bite my damn legs, but I kind of outran it and got away from it, and it was like some old lady.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if you're an old lady, you know you can't run after your dog.
I know.
You don't have the ability, so keep it on a fucking.
well, that's the
leash.
point. But back to this thing, it's like,
And by the way, he's a bird watcher, and he was in a
Yeah,
bird
right.
watching area.
Right.
And so the dog off the leash was scaring all the birds.
Right.
And that's why he said, "Hey, lady, can you put your dog on a leash and get the fuck out of here?" Basically, because
Yeah.
you're scaring all the birds.
well, that's the thing. That the point that we're going back is that
But-
that exchange 10, 15 years ago happens between two people. Maybe the lady is reacting the same way, gets upset, gets threatened, whatever, stereotyping, and then it stays in close quarters. Nobody's life is ruined, whether the
Right.
guy or the other person or whatever.
What's the appropriate punishment?
or
for that?
even the guy feeling like he has to film that situation with or videotape it with his not tape it film it with
I
his
don't blame
phone.
him for filming.
No, I understand.
Because
Nowadays you have to film. Yeah.
When she started saying a black man is attacking me, I'm
Right.
gonna be like, okay, well, I'm clearly 15 feet away
Yeah,
from you. I have
exactly.
evidence.
Never even close. If
Right.
anything, she's the one who gets close to
Right,
him, as
right.
opposed to him close to her. He had no intention. So, but it's just that now everybody feels like you have to film everything and have proof of everything, you know? So, I understand. I mean, I don't know how, back to the Twitters and the Facebooks and the YouTubes and all that stuff, how they can actually be moderators or fact checkers or policing content or
That's the thing.
You know, it's just what is the
Who-
policy?
Right. First of all, there's no way Twitter or Facebook or anybody is going to be able, when you have hundreds of millions or billions
Exactly.
of users,
Exactly.
you cannot moderate that. It's just not possible without having massive restrictions to the point that they're no longer open platforms.
And add to that the fact that there's a lot of content that may be offensive in one country, but in another. And there's a lot of things that conversations are mixed up, and they
Not even just countries, in groups. I mean, like, it's no different than, okay, especially a guy, you know, when I'm with my guy friends in a private setting,
yes,
we make jokes and say things that I would never say publicly, or
in a group with girls, or
not
with
even just
or a mixed
girls,
group.
or in other groups,
Right.
or on Twitter. But that's okay because we say inside jokes, and we don't mean them in. You know, everybody knows what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
And it's like, so if someone's on Twitter and making a joke within a certain group in a context, where if you get the inside joke, you get it, but on the outside, it might be highly offensive. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of people who don't understand the context are now like, wait, what did you just say? And attacking them. You know, it's funny when we.
It's the same thing as when you get journalists in locker rooms and things like that. That was a big controversy back when it started, because players have conversations in the locker rooms that are between the players, and what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. Okay, and players don't even disclose that. There's cases where players disclose lies or anything, and then they got totally bashed for doing that. So when you allow a journalist to come into a locker room, everybody's like, all of a sudden it's like, now we need to talk normal. We're not going to have that normal conversation between guys or girls just in the locker room.
Well, it's funny because remember when we did our 2020 at the very beginning of the year, or maybe it was at the end in December, I forget. It was basically our looking to the next decade episode. We did this.
Yeah.
We can go back and we were kind of making our predictions. The biggest prediction I made, as I said, I think that this decade we will see many new social platforms pop up, that it won't be just the big mega Facebooks
like more
and Twitters.
niche type.
And I said that there will be niche and very group focused and more insulated. And so that you'll have many more smaller groups of people. Mm-hmm. This is exactly why I said that. Because I think that I love Twitter for a lot of things. But for nuanced conversation within specific groups, it's not good for that. It just isn't.
But is that why Twitter came up with this new feature that I haven't tried yet? Where, well, first of all, I don't even have enough followers for me to try that. But where you can actually start a conversation and only tag the people that can reply or can be part of it.
I don't like that.
I don't even know how be implemented.
They just basically make it so that if they're not, basically, if you can set it so
only friends or only followers can
only
answer?
people you follow can reply to it.
Right.
So basically,
only people you follow, not the people that follow you.
Right.
Okay, I see.
Right. And so that way they control it. The reason I don't like that is because the point of Twitter, the reason Twitter is, the great part about Twitter is that it allows for open conversations where you can have 0 followers or 1 million and you have the same equal voice. Mm-hmm. And that's what's great about Twitter. Now, that's also a bad side because you can have trolls and all types of people, anybody in the mentions. And that's why I think that Twitter will be used still for a lot of things, but there will also be, like, there's even a rumor about Twitter groups being launched in the same way there's Facebook groups,
right? Having
Twitter groups. I don't know if Twitter would do that.
But I mean, there's other options for that. I mean, I like in this particular feature, which I just learned about a couple of days ago.
Actually, you know what's funny? I keep saying that. What's funny? I didn't use Facebook for years, and now I actually am back on Facebook, not for the regular feed Facebook, but because I'm in multiple Facebook groups.
Oh, groups, yeah.
It's actually great.
Yeah, for groups, it's great.
It's great because you have a bunch of people who it's invite only, so you have to be accepted in, and it's all people. So I'm in like
in a
certain
community.
ecom group,
right? And
it's just ecom people,
right?
And it is heavily moderated. So if you start talking about politics or something, they're just gonna remove it,
right?
And in those contexts,
you
it's
need to stay on topic,
great.
right? For that stuff is great.
No, that doesn't work for everything. I don't want Twitter to go away and there only to be groups.
But I don't understand the and we'll wrap this topic and then take a quick break. But this thing with Twitter, which is a new feature that I like, again, you can select when you tweet something, you can select who sees your tweet, and you can select only certain people or your entire followers. No, people that you follow, you said.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what happens is that normally relevant people, the real relevant people they follow few people, but they are followed by millions or hundreds of thousands.
Right.
I mean,
and
the ratio is different.
You can't control who follows you, but you can control who you follow.
Right, but
that's why they did it.
But you make a comment, don't you think these people want to actually or promote or spread their opinion through all the people that are following them? Everybody,
they can still see it. Anybody can see it.
Okay, so everybody can see, but they cannot comment.
You just can't reply on it.
Yeah. I see. Okay, so that's the explanation. Okay, so they can see, but they cannot reply. Yeah. So you're basically censoring who can say what.
So it's just basically saying,
if I don't follow you,
here's my thought. I don't want to have conversations
take
about
it or lose
this,
it.
But here's my
that's
thought.
It. And if I don't follow you, meaning that if I don't consider you part of my circle, then you cannot comment, and everybody else can comment.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. All right. Well, we still have a lot of things to do.